Hey guys, welcome back to another monthly TBR video here where I will be picking my TBR off of my TBR cart using my what used to be Care Bears playing cards, and I have turned into prompt cards. Now I'm picking for June, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add back in my prompts from April. I didn't want to add these in for May's video because I wanted something different. I didn't want to always pick the same things, but I am going to add in May's random number prompt card because it's not like it's fantasy where I'm going to constantly be picking the same thing. Random number is pretty random. So I have my prompt cards, I've got my TBR cart, and oh, there's a couple things. So it's June. I will be picking 4 books from my prompt cards, and I have Holly's pick, and I have the Read Your Bookshelf challenge. Couple things to note though. I am currently missing A Curse So Dark and Lonely. It should be on here, but Holly is borrowing it for this month, so it should be back on here next month, assuming she gets it read in June. And oh, speaking of Holly, she also gave me some new prompt ideas, which I forgot to add into here. So those should be back in, or those new ones should be in here for July. There were some really cool ideas too, so I'm excited to try those out. So I'm just gonna shuffle these up. For June, the Read Your Bookshelf challenge prompt is to read a book with a place in the title. And honestly, I don't read nearly as much in the summer as I do in the winter. So I am going to try to get that book into these prompts somehow. Hopefully it will work for me. We will see. Also, I haven't actually announced it on here, but I should probably do that in a separate video. But I am doing a giveaway for $100 in free books if you take part in 1 month of the Read Your Bookshelf challenge. So I have a blog post for that where you can go and enter, and I'll leave that linked below. Okay. I think I added 1 book this month, if I am correct. Well, I added a couple from my recent book haul, Force of Nature. I think it's actually the only one from that video. And then I added a poetry book, which will be in an upcoming book haul. I did get a couple books for my birthday. None of them are actually on here. I have some in my room, and I have some that are currently being sent to me. So I'm gonna do a birthday book haul in the next few weeks, whenever my books come in. So that's kind of where we're at with that. And let's just get started here. So I need 4 books from these cards. Okay, let's go with this one. Oh, random number. Okay, so what I did last time, I'm gonna use my computer here, find a random number generator. What I did last time is I put in a number from 1 to 6 for the different levels. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I counted how many books and then put in that number. So I'm gonna do that same thing. So a number from 1 to 6, and I get 2, which gives me this shelf, which is like my second most anticipated shelf. This is the one I'm most excited about. It's kind of like second most. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 books. So I will choose a number between 1 and 16, and I get 1. Okay, I'm kind of disappointed with this one. I can't get it out. One thing you'll notice is this month I don't have any books on top. So unlike last month, no books should fall on my head. Except I can't get this one out. One of my goals for this coming year, now that my birthday is over, is to spend less than $100 in books for myself. So this TBR cart should actually get quite empty. It's a struggle. There we go. This is the book. The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and Other Stories. So I don't think Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is actually that long. That is the reason I bought this book, because I read a book by James L. Rubart last year, The Man He Never Was, I think it was called, and it was kind of a play on the strange case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So I wanted to read this, but this is actually a pretty hefty book. It's 330-ish pages, but the pages are really thick. So, book number 1, and I'm intimidated already for this month. Now I just gotta get these back in there. Good thing those ones weren't in any kind of particular order. Okay, so that is my random number book. Hopefully things get better from here. And it does not have a place in the title, so that won't even count for my Read Your Bookshelf book. Great. I'm gonna pick on the other side this time. This one is most recent. Oh, so it's my most recent purchase. Ah, too bad I put the poetry book on here. I put the poetry book on here. Otherwise, I would have had Force of Nature, which I actually really want to read. I also do want to read this. So, this is the American Experience Poetry. I just found this at the thrift store. I'm not even American. But one of my goals for this year was to spend a month reading a poem a day. So, I guess I'll be using this book. It has, I'm assuming like all American poets. But it has quite a few different poets. So I guess this will be my number 2 pick. Most recent. It has American in the title, which is not really a place. Okay, 2 out of 4. I'm gonna shuffle them again. This time I'm gonna go for the middle. This one. Ugh. Okay. So I've Educated. Oh, I have Irina's Children. I don't know if you can see this on the bottom, but that one might be a good pick. What do we got here? Oh, this is where most of my nonfiction is, right here on this shelf. I would love to do like George Mueller or Shadow of the Almighty, which is written by Elizabeth Elliot. But I'm just not sure if that will work very well with what I already have. I'm going to go with the short, easy one, I think. I'm gonna go with Irina's Children. This is, I think it tells about her story. It says here, the extraordinary woman who saved thousands of children from the Warsaw Ghetto. So, it has like 250-ish pages and is a young reader's edition. So, this one is a little less intimidating than the other choices I have so far. But it does not have a place in the title. Okay, one more here. I don't read much in the summers. Like honestly, last summer, I think I read 2 books. Whereas in January, I think I read 14 books. So my pile's daunting me a little bit here. Please, please, please. Creepy. Okay, well, I will find a creepy book that has a place in the title. I think I can do this. Oh, okay, let's see here. Agatha Christie to the rescue. Murder in Mesopotamia. I'm putting her in the creepy section. I purposely left this kind of open to fit mystery and thriller type things. And yeah, so I'm totally going for this. I know I can read this one quickly. I know I like Agatha Christie. Whew, I feel a little better about this. Things are looking up. So this is my 4th book from my challenge cards. So that means I've got Agatha Christie, Irina's Children, this poetry book, and pretty much all of Robert Louis Stevenson's stories, or not all of them, but a bunch of them in here. So that is all for my challenge cards, and I figured out how to apply my Read Your Bookshelf challenge in here. So that means I have one more book, and this is the book that Holly picked for me. So every month for the last, this will be the 3rd month where she has picked out a book for me. She emails it to me, and I don't know what it is yet. But before I do that, I was actually just curious as to how many stories are in this book here. So there's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. There's The Bottle Imp, Markheim, The Beach of something, another thing I can't pronounce, The Isle of Voices, Will of the Mill, Body Snatcher, Providence and Guitar, The Enchantress. So there's actually quite a few stories in here. Okay, now I'm going to open Holly's email. Oh, this is one that I've actually heard of. This is a new thing. So she chose Station 11 for me, which I've been curious about. I'm gonna read the first like 2-ish paragraphs, or not paragraphs, 2-ish sentences here in the description she sent me. Set in the days of civilization's collapse, Station 11 tells the story of a Hollywood star, his would-be savior, and a nomadic group of actors roaming the scattered outposts of the Great Lake region, risking everything for art and humanity. One snowy night, a famous Hollywood actor slumps over and dies on stage during a production of King Lear. And I'm gonna stop there. Yeah, so she said her reasoning behind this one is she's been wanting to try it out. So she's thought I could try it first and she could hear my opinion. That's smart, Holly. And she saw it was on my Goodreads TBR shelf. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm assuming either it's on Scribd or I can get it from one of the library apps. Okay, so this month started out looking bleak, but it ended on like a really high note here. I'm looking forward to 50% of these, plus the book that Holly sent. So we'll see what June holds. Now, what I always like is to hear what you've been reading lately, what you plan on reading this next month, and if you have any good book recommendations for me. I hope you guys have a wonderful June reading month.